This is Miss Sutrove here, and today I'm going to share with you a really amazing way to draw people. And so here I drew a girl dancing, but you could use this to draw a person kicking a soccer ball instead. Or you can draw them doing anything else you want. It can be a ballerina, it can be a bodybuilder, it can be a skateboarder, it can be a mountain climber, it can be a princess who's a bodybuilder who's climbing a mountain. It's up to you. And this all goes back to something that you might have heard me talk about before. This project is going to make us pros at proportion. Proportion is the size of one thing compared to something else. And you can have realistic proportion or you can have cartoon proportion. Now, if you go over to my cartooning and comics video, you'll learn how to do this sort of thing. But today's all about this, but we'll add more personality like that. So, if you look at realistic proportion, this person's head, it looks like it's the right size compared to the rest of the body. This person over here, well, if this was me and my head was this size compared to my body, my whole body, I would just fall over because I wouldn't be able to stay up. So today we're going to learn to draw realistically with our proportion, and we're going to be able to draw people doing any sort of thing that you love to do. So to begin, we're going to need one very important tool. We need a unit. If you've done this project in class with me, I had little squares of cardboard, but we're at home. You're going to need to find something to be your unit. I found this pencil sharpener and decided that this edge was going to be 1 unit. And so that is how big my person's head is going to be. And so your unit can be anything, but you want to make sure that it's going to be the right size for the paper you're going to work on. If you're working on regular printer paper, something that is about 1 inch is perfect. You're going to need a pencil, you're going to need an eraser, use that sort of eraser too, and you might want some sort of fine tip marker at the end. And those are all the things that you'll need today. Now, first, with this unit, our person is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 heads tall. 7 heads tall. Is that really how tall we all are? We might want to check that. And so I'm going to start with using the unit to actually make the size of my head. And I'm going to trace a line that's the length of my unit. And I'm going to turn that into an oval. Now, when I use the pencil, I go lightly. I don't worry about the first line being perfect. Ovals and circles are a really hard thing to draw. But I sketch, 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 and I get something I like. And guess what? I'm not going to worry about that eraser I have until later. But I have a head now that is 1 unit long. And it's up at the top of my paper because I need enough space for the rest of the body. So I know that my head is 1 unit long. And next, I'm going to do the body. And the body is 2 units long. 1, 2 units long. So we've got that there. And then from my hips, where my legs come out, and my legs, as we can prove, are 1, 2, then the knee, 1, 2, and the foot. I'll put that on later. Now, same spot, starting spot, going to do the next leg, 1, 2, And the knee. 1, 2, and the foot. So each leg is, whoops, this is the side I'm using. 1, 2, 3, 4 units long. How long are your legs? Did you check? Make sure that you check with your unit. Once you know that your legs are 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 units long, you can do the shoulders and the arms. But we want to also remember there's a neck. And I kind of approximate the neck comes down, it's about 1/4 of a unit, right about there. And my shoulders are about 1 unit long, but they're here in the center. And so I'm going to draw 1 unit across there. And so I've got my shoulders, and from there, my arms are going to come down. 1, go like this, 2, and 1, 2. Now, you don't have to put your arms and legs in the same position as me. You can have your person doing something else. But if you want to just follow along and do it the same this first time, that works too. Now, what I have here, it's a stick figure, but it's a very special stick figure because we used proportion. Now that I have the stick figure, really the skeleton, I'm ready to add the joints. Joints are where our body bends. So I bend at my shoulders. I bend at my elbows. I bend at my wrists. I bend at my hips. That's a very important one. Your hips are about 1 unit wide. Now, everyone's different, so maybe your hips are skinnier. Maybe your person has really thick hips. I'm not sure. We bend at our knees. Make sure you put your knees on the bend, and then down on the ankles. Those are some important places that our body bends. I'm going to add one more shape. I'm going to add my rib cage. The rib cage comes about 1 unit down below the neck and goes like that. Our body does bend a little bit with our spine, but mostly we want to put this big shape here because we've got our rib cage, it's large and it protects our heart and lungs. So it's going to help create the right shape for our body. Once you have your rib cage and your joints on, then we're going to add some meat, add those muscles and tendons here. And so I need that neck to be thick. And I'm going to have these muscles come down from the outside of one joint to the outside of the next joint. From the outside of the circle to the outside of the circle. Outside of the circle, outside of the circle. You see that little bit of a curve I do there? Outside, 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 outside. And then this one's an important one because we got the hips here. Our thighs are pretty good size. So however big your hip is to your knee, it's going to go from the outside of the circle to the outside of the circle. Again, right there. And like that. And these here. Oh, I've missed one spot. Do you see it? Check out your stomach. You have some stomach muscles there. We need our tummy to be nice and happy. Now, if your person has a lot of padding, might be bigger. If your person's skinny, be skinnier. We're all built differently. Now, we have our muscles. What's missing? Think. What else do we need to add? I'm going to give myself some feet, or my person some feet. I do feet if my person's sideways as sort of rounded, long triangles there. and I think about which way is the person going. If this person's running this way or dancing, but their feet are pointed that way, then that's going to be there. And then this foot, I need to make sure that if I put the foot down, the foot wouldn't be broken. It would be facing the right way. So I'm going to put it like this, because if I bent the foot down, it would be right next to that one. So you see my rounded triangle feet, and I can turn it into boots, shoes, just put slippers on it, whatever you want. Hands can get very complicated, or you can keep them simple. I'm going to do them like a little box coming off and add a thumb. So I can have mittens. Little box coming off and mittens. Now, if after the fact later I want to give fingers, I can do it better than that. But see, the fingers are in there. They're just waiting to come out. And now that I have this, I have my skeleton, I have my joints, I have my muscles. I'm ready to turn this shape, this body, into someone with personality. I get to decide what they're doing. What do you want to make your person doing? I think this person's going to be playing soccer. So, I think they're running this way, so they're looking this way. I know that my eyes are about in the middle of my head. And if they're looking this way, I'm going to make the eyeballs looking this way too. So I'm going to do a carrot, 2 carrots, and then the eyeballs. See how looking that way? I'm going to do an eyebrow that comes down into a nose and the other eyebrow. And I'm going to do the mouth. Now I'm going to do some hair. Let's see, the hair sits on the head, but it also comes down, trying to decide what sort of hair to do. All different sorts of hair. Oh, I decided there needed to be an ear there too. Okay, short hair that sits on the head. And you see, there's some lines that are getting in the way. Now I'm going to start erasing. So, after I got the main details in, I got rid of the lines that were getting in the way. And I can keep fixing it and making it better. Ooh, my eyes are not in line. I'm going to make that eyeball a little lower. I like how that eyebrow's up. Like he's kind of like, I think he's looking at that soccer ball he's about to kick. Now, clothes. Very important, of course. Clothes sit around the body. They don't sit, they're not inside the lines. They go around. So his t-shirt goes around the neck, and it goes over his shoulders, around the sleeves, and down around the hips, and back up, doing the same thing on this side. Make that go around there, and everything that's inside, well, unless his t-shirt's made out of clear plastic, which would be ridiculous, you can't see it once you finish drawing it. So you get to erase all those lines. That's why I said to do them lightly to begin with. And that's what the eraser is for now. So I'm getting rid of those lines. He's got some stripes on there. And a number. Add any sort of details you want. Okay, shorts. I'm gonna do some long shorts that start underneath the shirt, go down, and they're bigger than the legs. Bigger than the legs. And erase. There we go. Oh, and you know what else I can do? See those extra lines inside his arms? I don't have X-ray vision, so I can erase those. And I lost some of my other lines. I should have used a tinier eraser. But I can still see them, and I can sketch them back in. Okay, let's use that pencil eraser to take those out. And if he's playing soccer, well, he needs some cleats and some shin guards and some socks. So let's do that. So I've got the shin guards sitting there. That there. Make these boots, these shoes a little bit bigger, and they need that. And I made those cleats really big compared to the other ones. This one's realistic, so I'm going to make them smaller. They were like cartoon cleats. And he's stepping on the grass here, and the soccer ball is right here. And he's about, I think he's about to shoot on goal here. Let's hope he makes it. And at this point, I'm just adding the little details that I notice, erasing the little bits that I think can be better. And up here on the head, I'm going to make that line for my oval a little better. And the last thing is you can go over it with Sharpie. So here's my finished person, and here's my one from before. As you see, they're almost the same position. So you can make people doing so many different things. All you have to do is change the position of that stick figure at the beginning. I'll give you some more tricks in another video. What are you going to draw your person doing? I can't wait to see it.